Time for two more, please.
Two more, right. Well, this boy is standing up, so I think you're ready. If you don't get your question, I will be right here, and all you have to do is ask me when you come up. Don't worry about it.
Who's your favourite character and why?
In my own books?
Yeah.
Or any books?
With your own books.
Right. Well, there's a book that I wrote called The Legend of Spud Murphy. It's for the younger readers, but I really like it because I wrote it for my son Finn, and I love the character Spud Murphy. And I remember I was going to America, and I was going out the door with my case, and Finn jumped in front of me. "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm going to America, calm down." And he said, "Yeah, you're going to America to talk to those other children." And I said, "Yes, I will be talking to those children." He said, "That's because you love them and you don't love me." I said, "You are only half right." And he said, "Well, if you do love me, why don't you write a book that I can read?" She was near about 7. He said, "All your books are really hard, and they're not even, this code is not even English." I said, "Okay, I will write a book for you." And I felt a bit bad, because, you know, he still loved me at this point. And, so I said, "I will write a book for you." And so I got on the plane. I was going to America, and instead of going to sleep, I stayed awake and I wrote out this story that I had been telling for about 2 years. So I wrote it very quickly, and I got it. I sent it in, and I emailed it from JFK to my publishers, and I kind of thought maybe they would take it. I didn't know, I hadn't written one of those before. And they accepted it. And 6 months later, I got the first copy of the Jiffy envelope. I knew, here we go. Here's the bonding moment. It's Little House on the Prairie time. And I ripped it open and I took it out and it said, "For Finn." And if you have that book, you'll see "For Finn" in there. And I said, "Well, I'm going to run in, I'm going to show it to him, we'll hug, we'll bond. He probably tell Mommy hates her, loves me better again." And this is what actually happened. So I went in, I said, "Look, it's a book that I wrote for you, it says For Finn." He says, "Excuse me, I'm watching Pokemon." These two, can we just do these two boys? Do you really want to go to the bathroom? Or we'll do the 2 of you and then we'll have to stop. So no pressure, but we'll do it.
My name is Sam, and where did you get the inspiration for Julius Root?
Julius Root is kind of the captain of the LEP, and he was inspired by my friend who's a teacher. You can sit down, boys. And he was one of those hilarious teachers. We've all had a charismatic teacher who was very funny and interesting. And he was one of these guys. But he used to shout at the kids. He just had one level of speaking, and that was to shout. And his theory was that if he shouted loud enough, some information would vibrate through the dictionary on the streets. And he would shout horrible things, horrible things. But he was so funny most of the time that the kids thought this was another joke. So he'd be like, "You are stupid, you're ugly, your whole family is stupid, and you're ugly, and what's more, you smell." The kids would go, "Ha ha 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 ha," and he meant every word. He used to get away with everything because people thought he was, and like if someone came in to complain, he would be so charming and he would laugh and they would talk, and then they would end going out for coffee together. So he was just one of those charismatic people, and I think Julius Root is like that. Even though he shouts all the time, people know that really he loves them. Okay, and that was what believed it. Now, my friend, what's your name?
Daniel.
You weren't sure there for a second, Daniel. Is that really your name? Okay, go on. What's your date of birth? You don't know? You are a robot! Sent from the future to kill me. Sorry, Daniel. I won't interrupt anymore. Lower shorts. Haven't got all day. Okay, go on.
Do you create the world first, then the characters, then the characters first, then the world?
Well, that's actually a very good question. Thank you, Dan. Do I create the world first, then the characters, or the characters first, and then the world? And my answer to that is yes. No. I usually have a character in mind first. It's usually the main character, and then I kind of build up everything. So I sometimes draw pictures, and sometimes do it in my head. I just get this character, put him down. He looks like one of my friends. Okay, where does he live? Who's in his life? So I do like a graph with all these bubbles coming out of it, and that helps me to get it in mind. Because sometimes there's so much going on in this world after 8 books. My editor says, remember when you killed this guy in book 6? And I said, yeah, you already killed him in book 2. I said, well, maybe he's Jesus. It's a terrible joke. How could you applaud that? You're applauding me. You're going to hell. Not me. I didn't laugh, Jesus. I didn't laugh. So, anyway, that's not a question you're asking me. So, I create the character first, and then I build up the world around it until it becomes something that you can believe in. But I don't like to put too much, I'm not very good at too much description. So I like to do just little splashes of description. I describe one little thing really well, and then your mind will hopefully fill in the rest of it yourself. So I like a fast moving book. Now I will just leave you one little story, and this is a true story, because the question I'm asked most is where you get your ideas. Every writer gets asked that question. And so I thought about this for a long time. And I remembered one of the first books I wrote was a book I wanted to help some kids in my class. 2 kids had got what was called pigeon toes, and they had to wear, and my own son has it now, and you have to wear insoles in your trainers, and they're kind of hard on your feet to straighten up your feet. Now I know these are fingers, just imagine. But when I remember because they were a bit upset by this, and a couple of people were teasing them, and I said, well, I'll write a story to make them feel better. Because when I was young, you had to have horrible big shoes with buckles on it that were slanted, so you have to walk around like this, and they were terrible. And if I tell them about those, they won't feel so bad about these. So I wrote a story about that, and it was called Ed's Funny Feet. And I went down to my dad, and I said, Dad, I wrote a story in a week, and the publishers are going to take it. He said, that's fantastic, son. He said, what's it about? I said, it's about this guy with turned in toes, and he has to have special shoes. And he said, ha ha, you did not write that in a week. I said, Father, I did write it in a week. I respect you, but yes. And he said, no, you didn't. I said, I did. He said, no, you didn't. He said, wait there. And he went upstairs. He got a biscuit tin of photographs. Now, in the 70s and 80s, if you were the first child in a family, there was loads of photographs. Oh, snappity, snap, 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 snappity, snap, snap. Second kid comes along, snappy, whatever. So there's no photographs of you unless you happen to be running behind the first kid. So my dad took out a photograph and he said, do you accept this is you in that photograph behind your older brother? And I said, yes, that's me. Then he took his finger away and said, look, I was wearing the special shoes. And I said, no way. And he said, yes, wait till you watch what he's I had those shoes. He said, you had them for 2 years. You tried to burn them, you tried to bury them, you hated them. And he said, in fact, you succeeded in burying them deep in your mind. And the bone popped out now, 30 years later. You did not write that story in 1 week, you wrote it in 30 years. And off he went with his cloak flapping behind him. But the point is that everything you kids are experiencing now in their wonderful lives will be food for stories. So please document your life now, because I wish I had, because I've kind of run out of ideas now. Which is why I hang out around the back of Philip Pullman's house. Going through his trash. But anyway, I would urge you, if you want to be a writer, just to keep a little diary, and maybe write down if anything interesting happens to you.